How did you guys get into rock climbing?
I've done it on and off throughout my life. Like as a kid, not very frequently, but I kind of had like a Boy Scouts type of relationship with climbing. I wasn't in the Boy Scouts, but I kind of always usually relate it to that, where it's like maybe once or twice a year, kind of go do something fun and adventurous. And then in college, I would climb outdoors every now and then. Didn't really know what we were doing, and then we would go down once or twice a semester to the closest climbing gym. But it wasn't really until after I finished college that I was looking for something to do to fill my time. And that's when I kind of fell in love with climbing as like my main physical outlet. So that was about 6 years ago now.
Okay.
And wasn't long after that I got the idea to maybe start pursuing opening a gym of my own.
Vanessa, how did you get started?
So I hadn't climbed at all until I went with him one time, and I can honestly say I didn't get super into it for a long time just because I feel like I always had something that was kind of going on in my life that kind of made me not. Like I was pregnant, and then I was like, right after I had a baby, and I just like felt like my body like wasn't in the shape to do it. Super busy with work and just didn't make it a priority. And so it wasn't until the last year or so that I've really gotten into it more because I was, I put the time into it. And now it's something that, I love to do, and I'm, slowly but surely getting better. I've always been into working out and stuff, but just never had gotten into rock climbing like he did.
This is sort of different. This is called bouldering. Why did you decide to do bouldering as opposed to traditional rock climbing?
Yeah, it's a more accessible form of rock climbing, in my opinion. Bouldering, like you climb without the assistance of ropes, so you can do it alone, and you don't need to invest as much up front for like the gear, so the harness and the ropes and belay devices and things like that. While most gyms offer those, as rentals, there's also like certifications you have to go through for belaying, things like that. So it's typically a little more of a commitment to go climb ropes as opposed to bouldering, which is like an easier thing to do. So yeah, it's just more approachable, and then also like it's just the cost is also lower. I mean, you're paying per square footage for the walls, and us being a small family-owned business, both in terms of the size of the space that's required for those things, or for rope walls, as well as the additional investment for having those put in. Really wasn't in the picture for us, but that's the main reason. And I prefer bouldering over rope climbing.
Why did you decide to come to Fort Worth specifically and open this place up?
So we decided Fort Worth. We knew we wanted to get out where we were living, not because we didn't like California or anything. It's really expensive. We kind of lived in the same area for pretty much our entire life. We were just looking for something different. We had just had our daughter in 2020 during the pandemic, and I think the pandemic also put a little bit of perspective, as it did for a lot of people, just of us wanting a little bit of change. I wasn't as connected to my job anymore because I had worked from home for a year and a half, and so we were just like, I think this is the right time. We wanted to move to a city that was a little bit bigger, had more things to offer. Mm-hmm. And so DFW was kind of on our radar, came out here, visited, and we just fell in love with Fort Worth. Like the day we came here, we were like, yep, this is it.
Where do people follow you? Like, where can they figure out more?
Pretty much all the social media. We're at the Blok Climbing. There's no C in Blok. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and then our website. We post lots of things, but primarily it's like our Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, Skylar and Vanessa, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
I'll let you get back to it.
Yeah. I'll let you get back. You gotta get you on these walls.